So, let's take a look at Streets of Rage, shall we? It's pretty obvious that I, DJ Slope, that guy that never shuts up about Streets of Rage, would actually have plenty to say about this. And you would be right. I suppose the first question is it better than Streets of Rage? No, it's obviously not. Thank you, nostalgia. Okay, that's the obvious one out of the way, but is this game a good spiritual successor to Streets of Rage? Again, no, not at all. But get this, that's not bad. I'm not saying that I don't want a new Streets of Rage game. Obviously I do. But this is not it. In fact, apart from the fact that it is obviously a side-scrolling beat-em-up, it actually didn't feel too much like a Streets of Rage game at all. In fact, the vast majority of classic beat-em-ups found during the height of the genre's life on 16-bit systems and arcades don't really seem to come close to this game either. Nope. This game is actually a little closer to games like Castle Crashers and Scott Pilgrim the video game. And because of that, I still absolutely loved my time with Streets of Rage. Released on the 12th of April 2018 on Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 4, what you have here is a little indie beat-em-up game by a little indie studio known as Secret Base. And in short, if you want a good way to spend £7-ish, then this will do you proud. So, what's it all about? Well, zombies are here now, and it's your job to remove them by using some rather recognisable characters. Yeah, the story isn't exactly the game's strongest point, but it doesn't need to be. And although you could argue that previous games in the same genre have had good storylines, who are you kidding? In this game, it's all about the references. And oh boy, are there a lot of them. Some of them are rather subtle, like seeing this red angel thing that gives you hints at the beginning of the game. I'm actually playing the game with someone that looks very similar to a Knight Arthur / Shovel Knight hybrid character. You got Golden Axe statues, Slimer from the Ghostbusters and Sonic the Hedgehog speed upgrades. And whilst on the subject of Sonic the Hedgehog, this game has more cameos than Bloody Mania. And what's more, is that they have absolutely nothing to do with each other. Now you might think of this as a bit of a gimmick, and it is, but it's a gimmick that I've had quite a lot of fun exploring whilst playing through the game again and again. As of right now, I'm currently on my 4th playthrough of the game so far, and I'm still discovering new stuff. Also, some of those cameos, well, they're not exactly very subtle. Personally, I think the devs of this game and I would get along very well. Streets of Rage is a game made by a company that, in my opinion, have very good taste. Now, on my first playthrough of the game, I failed on the first boss, but because I hadn't saved up enough money collected from combos and obviously just killing other things that you see along the way, I didn't have enough to bring myself back to life, which at first I thought was a really weird concept. In this game, when you die, you can pay money, not real world money, you know, money that you collect in the game that you would usually use for upgrades at the end of every boss to bring yourself back to life. If you die again, then the cost doubles. Again and again, until you run out of dosh or it becomes way too expensive for you to get back in, with the only backup being the ability to be able to use that money on buying a soul. At the end of every level you can upgrade your character, collect small amounts of cash or, like I said, buy a soul. If you don't buy a soul and you don't have enough money to bring yourself back, then not only is it game over, but your save data that is dangled right in front of your face is deleted. Time to start the game completely again. What a weird concept that, honestly, it really pissed me off to begin with, because I got super close to the end on one of my playthroughs to discover that all my hard work was gonna be wiped. However, the more I thought about it, the more I bloody love the concept. Secret Base have cleverly managed to bridge the ridiculous, unforgiving, money-munching style of old-school beat-em-ups with the over-friendly hand-holding style of current generations. Basically, you're never going to be able to try endlessly to beat that final boss, but at least this way, if you're careful enough with your money, you can at least have a good few attempts. There are 4 characters to choose from, all of which play slightly differently, which is nice, and depending on who you play as, and also what path you choose to take, the game will actually lead you down multiple paths where you'll be fighting different final bosses and get multiple endings. But that is not all. Even after completing the game, it's not over. What happens when you complete the game? Well, I'm going to leave that one up for you guys to discover. Now, all of these crazy different paths that you can take do come at a cost. Once you've played the game once or twice, you start to pick up exactly how to demolish the vast majority of bad guys rather easily. Plus, the game is actually quite short, and I was able to complete the main story with a fair amount of ease once I sussed it all out in just about an hour or so. However, there is a hard setting, which is what I'm going to be trying next. Now, a game that's completable in only a couple of hours when you work it out, well, I don't really see this as a negative, mind you, as the game's crazily different style every single time you play it will almost guarantee that when I try it again with friends, it will be a fully different experience. It's been a long time since we've had a good game like this, and with a few more on the horizon and games like Cuphead not far behind us, I'm crazily excited to not only see a really good new game in the genre, but a game that is taking that old school formula, and dare I say it, actually trying to improve it. Do I want these new changes in all future games like this? Hell no. But thankfully, they work out great here. Now, if you excuse me, I'm just going to go play through the game again. Hey guys, thanks for checking out the video. It's the part of the video where I give my usual shout outs to all of my Patreons, with that special shout out going to June, Rob Jenkins, the Geeky Dad, Robert Carter, aka Fantastic Dizzy, Dunder Control, Todd Paul Float G, Petty Mew, Brian Rawson, Samuel Victor, Red the Beard, John Fuller, Michael, Conrad Constantine, Pretendo64, Mike Fallon, Retro to Next Gen, Zane Powers, Gavin is creamy but not as creamy as Creamy Elephant, James Loveridge, Casey Garner, Blitz Hedgie, Ben Hall, Gemma at Mr. T-Shirts, Andrew Dalton, Joe Lazarez, Ian A. Chapman, Phil Lowlins, Brent Craft, and Ryan Burford. If you want to get your name shouted out, get your name shown, come and see what I'm working on. All of the crazy ideas I always have for episodes, some of which never make it, and plenty of other little bits and bobs, then please click the link that you see on the screen. But anyway, this is DJ Slope signing out, and hopefully I'll see you all next time.